Hi, I'm Ellen Violette, and I'm so excited today. My special guest is Treat Preston, and we're going to be talking about video books today. Treat is a doctor. He's a behavioral scientist specializing in all types of relationships and associated problems, psychological triggers as applied to commercial advertising and marketing, and energy psychology. He's a best-selling author with numerous books dealing in publishing behavior science, marketing, and more. He's also one of the leading research scientists with AppliedMindSciences.com, the mind research unit of ForensicNations.com. As a senior forensic investigator, Dr. Preston profiles perpetrators of all types of crimes and assists the Forensic Nation team of investigators identify and track cyber criminals of all types. And he's just got a very fascinating bio here. He and his wife Cynthia reside in Auburn, California. So Treat, welcome to the call.
Yeah, how you doing, Ellen?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to have you here today. I know that people will be excited to learn more about video books, and that may not sound like it's connected to what you do, but the truth is you have a website called ePub Wealth, and you have all kinds of books there to help people. So do you want to just say a couple, more words about that, and then we're going to get into our topic today.
Yeah, as you described in my bio, I'm a research scientist with AppliedMindSciences.com. There's 12 of us, 12 scientists. I mean, my associates are on the ePub Wealth website, and they write in a variety of genres like I do. The way I got into video books is through forensics. Forensics involves a lot of photograph taking and video.
Mm-hmm.
Our drones actually track bad guys using video, and we hone in on them through our drone videos until our ground units can surround them. And you've seen it on CSI and all that exciting stuff. It's not all
Right,
that exciting
right.
as they make it sound on TV. But I got really interested in video, and I started fooling around with it. And as
Mm-hmm.
you know, you promote books like I do,
Mm-hmm.
and video is a very, very good way to promote books. So I started experimenting with them, and the company has a ton of video type equipment. So I had the best of equipment world, so to speak, and I really got good at it. And I really found that it was selling books, but I found also that I favored just a couple aspects of the video rather than the full gauntlet. And
Mm-hmm.
it's a personal taste matter. Some people really get into it in many ways. Others, like me, who can't walk and chew gum, we're always so busy,
Mm-hmm.
uh, concentrate on something that's working for them. And that's really what I recommend, because it can get really confusing.
Got it. Okay. Well, the name of his book, of Treat's book, is How to Create, Market, and Sell Video Ebooks. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So, why is video growing in popularity over other forms of online content?
I think you've seen it with the advent of social media. People's time is so limited now, and it's easier to watch a video than to read.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, the schools are pumping out kids that just don't have the reading abilities that we had when we were in school, and they are paying more attention to the instant everything society. And
Right.
that's the way things are going. I mean, I even like it, to be honest with you. Uh, I'd rather watch a video than sit there and read this long report. So I think it's the convenience. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's the ability using colors, using pictures, to where the mind, the eye, and the ear synchronizes, and you retain more. Uh, they can get a better speed of whether they're interested in it or not, especially when it comes to a book, than actually reading a book biography or a book description, even though they're pretty short on the digital platforms like Kindle.
Mm-hmm. So, how are YouTube videos ranked, and why are YouTube even important?
Well, YouTube is the main video engine, search engine, as you know, being a part of Google, and you know this too. When you combine a Google Hangout or a Google Plus account, and you post a video uh, at the top when you sign in, it immediately goes to Google's front page if you use hashtag then the keyword of the book that you're using,
Hmm.
that you're promoting. Now, in video books, they differ from written books only insofar as it's the pictorial aspect, and they're generally shorter, but you have that immense pictorial ability. You could take any written book. I've taken over a dozen of my written books and turned them into video books. And
Oh.
they actually sell better in the video book because there's more sites that you can post a video book on than you can in publishing sites. And I know that sounds weird. I mean, you have
Mhm.
Kindle's Smashwords, you have CreateSpace for
Right.
paperback, you have Lulu.com, you have Kobo Books, etc.
Yeah.
And those are all
iBookstore.
good. iBookstore.
Yeah.
But on the video sharing sites, you literally have hundreds of them. And you can easily post on a video sharing site with one application, one software application, and it'll go to a couple hundred sharing sites. And those are all active marketing sales page sites where you're selling your books. So it does have its advantages.
Oh, well, do you have some tips on what people need to do to create video books as opposed to when it's written? Are there
Yeah,
specific things we need to do?
I told you earlier that I favor one area.
Hmm.
I like using a PowerPoint and animating the PowerPoint and combining the audio with the animated PowerPoint. It's really simple to do. If you have an office setup, office package on your computer, which
Hmm.
contains Excel, it contains PowerPoint, Word, etc., and you just open up a PowerPoint, and if you when you install your PowerPoint, make sure you add the recording app that goes with it that synchronizes it, and you
Hmm.
can even synchronize it if you know how to use some of the video software sites that are readily available. So it's very versatile, but all you need is a PowerPoint, and you actually take your written book and even some of maybe the pictorial contents that you selected for your written book, and
Hmm.
you plug it into the video or into the PowerPoint pages, and then you can animate it, and you can make it spit in, spit out. You can actually have a professional narrator do it if you don't want to do the voiceover yourself. If
Hmm.
you've ever gone to ACX, all right, .com, which is the Amazon's audiobook
Right.
site. It's like doing an audiobook, but you're combining the video with it, which ACX doesn't do. So you're
Hmm.
getting the best of both worlds. You're getting an audiobook and you're getting the visual content. And the visual content could be done professionally, like my graphics designer. She'll do anything I want to put on the PowerPoint, right down to cartoon animation.
Hmm.
So you can actually use professional graphics designers like I do, and mine is Tops. She's so inexpensive. I mean, I've got hundreds of authors using her, but you can use a graphic designer. You could do
Hmm.
it yourself. You can use images, and there's a ton in the video book that we're offering. I give all the sharing sites. I give all the free image sites where you can go and get free images to put into your PowerPoint, and it actually works out very well when you do a video book in PowerPoint and your readers come to expect that format,
Hmm.
then they are always coming back to you because they know exactly the format. They know that you build your books the same way, and they really appreciate that, and they get a lot of information on it. So it's a very easy way to build a real quick following.
Wow, that's great to know. I didn't know that. I didn't know that there were a lot more sites in video than text. So to get back to the YouTube, so what are the ranking factors so on YouTube?
Ranking is very interesting on YouTube, and there's
Hmm.
been a lot of products and counseling services available how to rank on YouTube. Uh, the best way I have found is going through a Google Hangout is the very best. All
Mm.
right, and you're the expert in Google Hangout.
Which is what we're doing here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean you can't beat that. You know that.
Hmm.
Google.com just loves Google Hangout, obviously, but they
Hmm.
also love Google Plus. And
Hmm.
if you're posting, the key is that when you post your description, you post the video, you post the description, you must put in the keywords in a hashtag format. That is the key. And Google picks it up so swiftly. I am amazed at how swiftly Google.com, the main search engine, will pick up that video based on those keywords. So you got to choose your keywords wisely, and it'll pick it up and put it on the first page of their search engine for those keywords, and that sells books. And it sells print books. It also sells video books and audio books. As long as you have the proper sales pages, which you're an expert in also, and you've got all your I's dotted and your T's crossed,
right?
You're going to sell some books.
Well, that's really exciting because I know there are a lot of authors out there. They want to sell books and they can't figure out why their books aren't selling. So that was one of the reasons I was very excited about interviewing you on this. So, what's the best video producing software to achieve high quality videos?
Camtasia. If you have the ability to run a Camtasia software program, and it's not that difficult, you could produce top-notch quality videos in many different formats, with animation, et cetera, et cetera. But if you're like me, and I don't want to work that hard, you know, my time is limited, I just do the PowerPoint, and the people eat it up because PowerPoint is so versatile and it's so inexpensive. And anybody can do a PowerPoint video. Literally anybody. I mean, you don't have to have any special skills. You don't even have to present yourself into the video. You can do your own voiceover. You can get sexy, hire a graphic designer to do the graphics. You can hire a voiceover professional. It's depends on how much you want to put into it and what your readers expect from you. And as you get really good at this, video books are a lot of fun, and they're taking off like mad. I mean, most people, I suspect Amazon will come up with a video book.
A category?
Yeah. I could just feel it coming, Ellen. I mean, they're not going to be left out. Now, they have posted some of my video books in their ACX store.
Oh,
Because they do qualify as audiobooks because it's audio, and it's giving the content, and you're reading the content. The only difference is it's in a PowerPoint format, and you get the video pictorial content along with it. So they have rejected some of them, and they have accepted some of them. So I get the feeling they're going to go to a video book format site like ACX that's simply for video books. I'm ready.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Also,
the reason why is your video books will outsell your print books about 4 to 1.
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, especially if they're priced right. All right, I mean, my main price point for my print books is about $6-7. For my video books, it's about $9.99. So if
you also make you not only make more money. I mean, you not only get more sales, but you make more money because you can charge more.
And you're not sharing it with Amazon.
You're not.
You're not at all. You put it right on your website, like I put it on mine. And they buy off your website, and you're not sharing with anybody. You're getting the full $9.99. Now, if you go to the video sharing sites,
then you're going to pay.
Well, then some of them you pay, but you can do a redirect back to your sales page, and then you're not sharing it with anybody.
But if you do it at Amazon as the audio, there you're sharing it.
Yes, you are definitely sharing if they post it on ACX.com. Or Audible.com is their sales site.
Okay. Let's see. So how can I find the best video sharing websites to maximize video exposure?
They're in the book. I put them all in the book.
Okay.
And there are so many of them. Some of them apply. Some of them you have to pay for, but the bulk of them are still free. If you are industrious and you can post to those sites manually, then it's free. Or you can use a software program. I have it in the book. I think it's $97, and it posts all 200 sites. And candidly, I use that.
Oh,
so
also, I wanted.
Both ways.
Okay, I wanted to also say, you know, if you're saying Camtasia, I know a lot of people in Mac that have Macs use ScreenFlow.
ScreenFlow is pretty much the same as Camtasia.
Yeah, ScreenFlow. And now people are going to WebJam and doing
That's good too.
Yeah, right in right in Google Hangout.
Yeah,
So yeah, I can
they're
actually,
all excellent. But
yeah,
my fail safe that never fails me is my PowerPoint and
right,
my graphic designer. I mean,
okay,
they do so much better work than me. I can't I can barely write.
yeah,
I mean, and I'm always so busy. I always look for, I delegate everything that I possibly can.
right, and
But
that's what you should do.
if you can afford it, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
sometimes you got to walk or, crawl a little before you start running.
Hmm.
Once they start selling books, they reinvest in themselves, take the royalties and reinvest in themselves.
Well, so I mean, so you don't think it's necessary to do this if they can just do it with PowerPoint? They don't have to invest in any kind of software or anything.
Not in the upfront. No, no, you can
Okay.
get good at this. And I mean, I can afford to do anything, and I still use PowerPoint, and I
Hmm.
still turn it over to my graphic designer, and she builds the whole thing. She inputs the written content. She does everything, turns it over to me, and I post it. So I can afford to use Camtasia. I can go to a studio and have it done professionally, which is the ultimate.
Hmm.
But it might sell, and if it ain't broke,
Right.
don't fix it.
Right.
And
Exactly.
I don't want authors that are just starting out or they're not making a lot of money because they don't have a big inventory
Hmm.
to feel that they can't get into this. Anybody can get into video books. It is really that simple. If you
Wow,
just,
that is
it's
so
all
cool.
it's all in the book that I wrote because I want them to see and have available every little tool that I have used and I come across. I always go back and redo the book and post it again, republish it.
Hmm.
So all the new stuff coming up, like ScreenFlow, like your uh, Windjam, stuff like that. There are so many new things coming out to make it so easy that we
Hmm.
never had a couple of years ago
Right.
when video books really started coming out. Now they're very popular.
Directly the text and then you just put in PowerPoint, or is there more to it? I mean, are they
No,
do they?
you just need PowerPoint. You have to be able to transfer the written content of the book right onto the PowerPoint screens
Hmm.
in a font large enough so that it can be seen. I
Hmm.
usually use a 14 to 20 point Arial font. It's all in the book. Uh, it's just cut and paste right into the PowerPoint. And like I said, if you really don't want to do it or you want to really get sexy and professional, turn it over to a graphic designer. They have a way of really putting it in there quickly and professionally, and then they can animate it any way you want to. The screen can blow in and blow out. It can segue to the left. It can segue to the right. They can use special fonts that you probably don't have available in your PowerPoint suite, where a graphic designer has every font known to man in theirs.
Right.
So
Right.
there's a lot of benefits to using a good, and I have my graphic designer in the book. So if you want to use her, and she's so inexpensive.
I'm gonna get it just for that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she's good. She's really, and she's swift. She does a really good job. She even does my children's video books, which are more expensive to do because they're fully illustrated, just like a children's book. So all you children's authors, you
Hmm.
can put together a children's book, video book, and mothers freak out, Ellen, where if they
Hmm.
could take their kid and put them in front of a TV set while they're going cooking dinner,
Hmm.
and it's just like playing a cartoon, and it's your video book, it's your book that you've been selling that's been doing well, because children's books do well, and you now have it on TV for them. I mean, you sell those things so fast. Mothers for birthday parties, everything. I mean, they just buy those things. I mean, your kids are special, and I
What do you mean? What do you mean
put
for
them on.
birthday parties? What do you mean? You mean
They
they give
they
them as
they
gifts, or
they not only give them the gifts, but they actually put the video on.
oh, they put on for the kids?
Yeah.
Uh
And
huh.
so, and then, I created a format called book jumping, and you
Hmm.
can do this on your own, all right, where you write the story, and the characters in the stories would be Ellen, and maybe you have two little kids, and they're the characters, and you build a story around you as the mother and the two children. You produce a children's book out of it. You turn it into a video book, and now the kids are watching themselves in the video in the form of an animated figure, like maybe a tiger or a little pig. All right, and
Hmm.
but it's the little pig is or the little tiger is called Jimmy. and Mary, and they just love that stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, that sounds
I
great.
wrote one, A Tale of Two Cheetahs, Tail, and I tell you, if I had to print it, I couldn't keep it in print. The
Wow.
thing is a video book, and it sells for $19.99, and it's one of my best-selling books. And
Wow.
it's
Well,
a
let's talk
children's
about
video
that.
book. Yeah,
Let's talk about that. How do you decide to price them? You said $9.97 on the other ones. This one's $19.97. What makes the difference? How do you price them?
because it's custom built.
Oh, uh-huh.
You've got the mother, and in this case it was two little boys, as the characters. So you're custom writing the storyline to the characters instead of making up your own but you could take, and let's say you're a children's author,
Hmm.
Ellen, and you have a bunch of children's books. You could take any one of those children's books, customize it to a mother and their children. Now you have a custom book that you wrote for them. All right, you could change the title around. You could change maybe some of the characters around. Now
Hmm.
it's custom. They get the book. All right, you're selling the book. They can sell the book. They can open up an Amazon account and sell
Hmm.
the book too.
So you know what? You can make more money if you licensed it to them to sell the book.
Exactly.
Do you do that?
Exactly. That's
Do
what
you
I do.
license? What
Yeah,
do you charge for a license?
about $45.
Wow, that's cheap. Yeah.
Yeah, but then you pick up so much by word of mouth. The other
Hmm.
mothers see this. It's so
Right.
unique, and it entertains their children. Their children are so excited because they're a character in a book,
Hmm.
and it just flows in. The business just comes flowing in.
Oh, that's
You have to
awesome.
be,
That's
you have
awesome.
to be able to keep up with it.
Right, right.
All right, with my schedule, I mean, I have my staff that does it for me, but
Hmm.
otherwise I couldn't do it. But there's a time where you're doing a couple dozen of these a week,
Hmm.
and if you can't write that fast, or you're not that creative, you're going to have to use my graphic artist, and she will go get you some writers, some ghost writers.
Well, and the other thing to do is to increase your licensing fee. Then you'd not
Yes,
do as many of them. Yeah,
yes, you can do that. You can
yeah,
do that. But the word of mouth goes like lightning.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
incredible.
So, what do you think are the best sites to sell your videos from? Did I miss that, or did we
There,
not say
there,
that?
there's really no better sites. It's the more ad impressions you put into the marketplace. I've
Hmm.
seen sites that are brand new that have come up where it outsells the ones that have been up for years.
Wow.
The goal is to get those ad impressions out there, and the way you do it
What?
is,
Yeah. What does that
yeah,
mean? Ad impressions. What does that
getting
mean?
that video posted on that sharing site. That's an
Hmm.
ad impression. And the
Okay.
more people that can see your video or your sales page or your sales offer on the share page, you've got it. And there's so many people that go to those video sharing sites because they're looking for entertainment,
Hmm.
and that's free. And they see that and they get hooked on it, and pretty soon you've got a hellacious following of people that are hooked on your video books.
So, what books do you think are the best for video books? Is it children's books or is it something else?
Children's books are one of the top sellers.
Hmm.
Anything that deals in gender relationships that helps people, advice, how to is the
Hmm.
genre. That is excellent. Anything that deals in advice and how to that's teaching people how to do something where they can just put it on their computer and they're learning how to do something that they don't want to share. They don't want anybody to see them learning this. There's a lot of things that you have in your personal life that you just don't want to share with anybody.
Hmm.
And I wrote a book called Embarrassing Problem Fix, and it was about embarrassing problems for both men and women that they won't even go to the doctor because they're too embarrassed over.
Hmm.
So you can imagine there's quite a few things, and if you sit down and think about it, that people don't want to discuss with anybody. So if you write an advice on how to, put it up on Amazon, yeah, you have a very good chance, if it's promoted properly, that you're going to do very well with it.
Sounds good. Well, that's exciting for my authors because they're all writing how-tos. So
Yeah.
that's good to,
And
yeah, so
and
that's
that,
good to know.
as you know, that's one of the largest genres going right now,
Yeah, yeah.
and rightly so because people embrace it for the privacy, and I mean, some of these authors really know their stuff
Hmm.
and really understand their topics, and they develop a following very quickly because people say, "Hey, that makes sense," and I tried this and it works, so I'm going to continue to read this person's book, and they buy all your books.
Right. Yeah, well, that's what you
Yeah.
want to happen, and that's why you want to write a lot of books. I know one time you said that to me. People think they're going to write one book
Yeah.
and make a lot of make a lot of money with it. You tell people if you don't mind. I mean,
It's inventory.
yeah.
It's like any product. The more inventory you have, the more they find you on the search engines. The way you optimize your books on Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
every publishing platform has a different way to optimize to where you get it out to the general readership, and they
Mm-hmm.
know, and they start seeing your name, and the more they see your name, and or they click on your Amazon profile, and they
Mm-hmm.
see all the books, and one of my colleagues has over 150 books on Amazon alone.
Mm-hmm.
So they click on his name and they go, "Holy smokes, how am I going to get to all this?" But they go through it, and he writes in various genres like I do.
Mm-hmm.
My wife only writes in children books. She only does children books,
Mm-hmm.
and she's very big in the video. But it's all inventory, and the more inventory you put out there, a lot of people think that nobody's reading War and Peace on Kindle.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Right.
so
Right.
I mean, having a 1,000-page book on Kindle, I mean, you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of my books are between 50 and I'd say 80 pages,
Mm-hmm.
and they're succinct to a topic.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure your tagline describes the book in detail, and you get a good graphic designer that does a very attractive cover,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll find that it's not really that difficult to make a passive income as a author, and you just keep at it. If you're doing a 50 to 80 page book, that should take you, if you're organized, that should take you about 2 weeks. I know people that do it in a week's time. I
Mm-hmm.
have a instructional course on Udemy.com called The Overwhelmed Author,
Mm-hmm.
and people, they learn how to really budget their time, and nobody knows that better than me with my time
Mm-hmm.
parameters being in such demand.
Right. Right. Because
But
you're out there running after all these cyber criminals.
yeah, but I tell everybody, as busy as I am, and my
Mm-hmm.
wife organizes me on this, I write 2 hours
Mm-hmm.
a day without interruption. She doesn't allow
Wow,
anybody
that's
to interrupt
great.
me,
That's
and
great.
it's in the evening after I'm done with my investigative duties,
Mm-hmm.
and it's relaxing for me. I mean, a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
say, "Well, I'm tired. I don't want to write." To me, it's like kicking back with a little glass of wine, and that's when I'm creative. When you
Mm-hmm.
sit there and it's quiet, nobody's bothering you, you don't have the interruptions. But that's just me. Other people write in different ways. I know I've trained authors that outline everything, and the outline qualifies as a book.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't outline a book. I've never outlined a book. It all just falls out of my head.
Oh, wow. See, when I teach people, that's exactly how I teach them is the more organized, the easier, the faster it
Yeah.
goes. But anyway, that's a
And,
conversation for
and
another day. But yeah,
some authors need that. You're teaching
yeah,
them the right way.
yeah,
Organization is very big.
yeah. Well, what else do you think people need to know about video books?
I think when you're doing promotion, and you know
Hmm.
as well as I do, you could have the best book, if it's not promoted properly, it's not going to do well.
Right, right. It
I
has
mean,
people have to be able to find it.
yeah, you're good at that. That's your job.
Hmm.
Uh, they need to learn promotion and marketing, and they really need to listen to people like you that do this for a living
Hmm.
and get good at it.
I know,
Because if they don't,
I went like this because when I first started, I didn't know anything about marketing. So, I mean, I
yeah,
want to tell people it's definitely a learned skill.
it
Definitely.
is. And if you
Yeah,
don't learn it, shame on you. You're not going to do well.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Now, you don't have to do it personally. Like, you could hire Ellen, for example, to do it. I have my staff. I have my outside contractors that do a lot of things for me
Hmm.
because I can't get to it. And you got to be realistic. There's only so much time in a day.
Right.
But marketing promotion is not voluntary. It's mandatory
Hmm.
if you're going to succeed in this business.
Yeah.
You could be a good writer. You could be a good storyteller. You can know a lot about the different formats. You can produce really good stuff. But if it's not promoted properly and people don't see it, shame on you. So, I mean, what you do is just as important what I do in writing and doing the different formats and making different presentations that people can buy and giving them different options.
Mhm.
But you putting it out there so that the people can uh, see what the author is doing. And I have to tell you, I've trained a lot of authors, and they are so bad at marketing and promotion. And you
Yes,
know,
yeah,
I see you
yeah,
laughing. You know darn well. I bet you could tell stories like I could. You know, I don't know how they even get up in the morning and dress themselves. Some of these, they're excellent writers and storytellers, but they
yeah,
couldn't promote anything.
yeah. Well, they don't want to. I mean, the thing is,
Yeah,
authors generally, and creative people, we'd rather be creating. Let's face it, we'd
yeah.
rather be creating than
Oh
marketing.
yeah.
But that's the whole thing is if you don't put it out there. I mean, I remember one time I was talking to Jim Edwards and he said he had to put a moratorium on himself on creating anything new because he had such a backlog of things that needed to be promoted. And,
Organization.
yeah, and it wasn't, and they weren't getting promoted. When they weren't getting promoted, he wasn't making any money.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's really important that that
You
people,
got to know where your bread's buttered.
yeah, you've
You know,
gotta
in our
do that.
company on epubwealth.com, on the published side of the house, we have
Mhm.
over 1,000 authors under contract that we
Mhm.
do everything for them. They just write it, and we do the rest.
Mhm.
I'm on the self-indie side of the house. So all the self-publishers are on my side of the house, and those are the people that we're talking to all the time and assisting.
Okay, well, I want to tell people where they can get your book. It's at epubwealth.com/how-to-create-sell-video-books EV, as in Ellen Violette. Okay, so
Cool.
it's epubwealth.com/how-to-create. Uh-oh, my screen just went dark. So what is the rest of it? Oh, create-sell-video-books EV. Okay. So
Or they could go direct to the epubwealth.com site, and it's right on the menu bar there.
okay, great. So is there anything else that you think we should cover before we say goodbye? Anything else you want to say about the book?
I think you need to be committed to getting the
Mm-hmm.
task done.
Mm-hmm.
Organization is very important. Experiment. You know, use one of your books or use a concept. Try it first, and when you're doing a PowerPoint, that you can just dump it and start over again.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have any questions, you can reach me through the book, or they could talk with you. You know, I'm sure you're going to get good at this.
No, no,
You
no.
don't seem to turn
Video.
anything down.
No, no, no. Video books is not my thing. That's your thing. No, no, no.
Now
I
remember,
Yeah.
okay, video books
Mhm.
are not the same as a video book trailer. That's your promotional aspect, the video book trailer.
Right, right.
This is actually producing a video book. So a lot of people get that confused.
Oh, they do. Okay. Well, the
Okay.
trailer is going to be just a couple minutes, right? It's going to tell them why they should go get the book, and the book
Exactly.
is actually the content that's in the book.
Yes, and
So,
that's the one they're paying for. They're not paying for
right,
the trailer.
right, right. The
Cool.
trailer is free.
It's so nice talking with you, Ellen, as usual.
It's nice talking with you too. I want to say this has been really educational for me. I didn't know that people were making, 4 times more sales and also the potential to make a lot more money. So, if you've got a book, I mean, my wheels are going in my head thinking, okay, well, I've got books and I haven't made them into video, books, so I better get cracking because, like you said, people love to be creative, but really what you want to do is you want to make sure that when you have content that you do repurpose it so that you get as much bang for your buck as possible out of each thing that you do, and also because once you've got your message out there, as Treat was saying, is you want to get it in as many hands as possible. You want people to be able to use the information, and so the more places they're going to see it, the more different ways that they can get it. Different people learn in different mediums. The better you're going to do. And like I said, I'm really excited about the fact that you can get more money for video books than for textbooks, and also the fact that you can license them and do custom books. I think that's terrific. So, so I really want to thank you for that and for sharing this with our audience.
Yes, and make sure if you're an author, take advantage of all the formats that are available.
Mm-hmm.
from audiobooks to, I mean, you got Kindle, which is a digital platform like Smashword. You got CreateSpace, which is a paperback print
Right.
on demand. All
Mm-hmm.
right, you've got video books. You've got the PDF ebooks that you could sell off your own website. Use
Mm-hmm.
every format, sell every format. Because
Absolutely.
you have people that will buy your ebook version, but they do not have a Kindle,
Mm-hmm.
or they refuse to use an e-reader and they'll buy your paperback. Readers are finicky, and the more you have out there in the format, you're going to make more money.
Well, not only that, sometimes people are surprised that people will buy the same book in different formats. I've done that, where
Yes,
I actually have a print book and then I've gone and got the Kindle book so that I can read at night in my bed and I don't have to get, lazy me. I don't have to get up and go look for it or whatever.
it's a
But
good point.
yeah, or if you're traveling or whatever, then you have it on your Kindle. So a lot of times people are surprised, but people will buy more than one format of your book as well. So that's
Most
another
definitely.
Yeah, that's another reason to do it. So again, let's just tell people they can go to EPUB. Uh-oh, see my screen went dark.
epubwealth.com.
.com/how dash to dash create dash sell dash video books EV, or you can just go right to the site epubwealth.com and you'll see how to create sell video ebooks EV, and it's right there on the
On the menu bar.
on the menu bar. Okay, well, I hope people will take advantage of this. I think it's awesome, and I want to thank you again for being our special guest today.
Thank you, Ellen.
Okay, bye-bye.
Take care. God bless.
You too.